I actually come up with solutions most of the times that other people wouldn't think of.
I'm Martina Bernhofer and this is Growth Through Challenge. Today I'm sitting with Angela Landry, Realtor and entrepreneur with EXIT Realty Advantage right here in Fredericton. Angela built her own business in real estate, living by the simple motto, average doesn't work here. Angela, welcome to Growth Through Challenge.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to do this with you. And hopefully we can share and help people in today's market and knowing the things that to help them prepare for buying or selling in certain particular situations that they may run into.
Right.
Yeah.
So why don't you start with telling us why did you start this business and what makes you different?
That's a good question. It's always been in my heart for years. Yes, I am mature now, so I can say it's been in my heart for years because I love helping people. So I knew it would be something that I would be quite good at, and knowing that I have high regards for serving people and serving them well and doing the right thing. And with my background of finances, I've been in the finance industry. I've also, which helps me immensely, I've also done mortgages, which soon people find out after they're in, and they love that help. Helping people save money is something that everybody likes to do. So in doing that, like last night, for instance, I did a Teams meeting with a lender on a new accepted offer. That's not something that most realtors will take part in, but knowing that it's going to educate me as well, I'm going to pass forward to my clients as well. I have a lot of newcomers which really have no idea how finances and mortgages work in Canada. So the whole thing just curtails back around to helping your clients, doing what's in their best interest for them, and saving them money. And they appreciate it so much. So it's a win-win situation.
So
you can't go wrong.
Right. So that's one of your advantages, your background in the mortgage industry.
Yes.
And why did you start the business? Why did you, what was the moment where you decided, because you were a manager at the Ramada Hotel before, right?
Correct. Sales manager, yes, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So why did you decide all of a sudden to do your own thing?
Well, I've always wanted to try self-employment. It's not for the faint of heart. Anyone knows after they get into it, it's, and there's a lot of New Brunswickers. I think upwards of 30% are self-employed. It's always something I wanted to try, but I was never in the position to do. Now children are grown. I have no major responsibilities, no major debts. I even sold my own home. I didn't want to do the big yard work anymore and have that acre lot to take care of and things. And I thought, this is a time in my life that I can give this 110%. And that's exactly what I do. I don't have to get home and prepare, as many young people do. And we all know if we're not doing it right now, we've done it before. And we know how busy that life is, right?
Yeah.
And being a realtor is not a career, I say. It's not a job, certainly not just a job. It's a lifestyle. You're pretty well on call. Some people are good at, maybe clocking out at 6 or 7, but usually, especially these 6 months in the spring and summer and the fall, we'll work 12, 14-hour days. There's no doubt about that. Being in the hotel industry, I was kind of doing the same thing. And I knew that, okay, Angie, you're right now working 6 days a week at least, if not 7, and you're working 9 o'clock till 9 p.m. at night. You're on a base salary. You're not going to grow. I was doing something I enjoyed. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I organized weddings. I did big group events. I did a big thing for the military. They had one of them, the reserves there had a function there. But you never
did it for your own
But I never did it for, exactly. And I know that year, the full year that I was there, it was over a year, but I know the full year that I was there, I made a significant difference in their income at that hotel. I know I did.
Wow.
And I said, if I can do this and I can be successful as I was, and meeting these people and booking them in and making them, have a good reviews from them and having a good experience and working so closely with them is what realtors do with their clients as well, to make it a successful event. I knew that I could do this I just had to incorporate all the same things I was doing basically, except for the marketing part, which I do well because I'm entrepreneurial spirit anyway, and I think outside the box and very creative. So I work with a marketing girl maybe 10 hours a week, and I usually send her all the ideas and she incorporates it. So it's just come around full circle that everything that I've done in my career of jobs in sales and financing and mortgages is coming in direct contact and making me successful in my current role as a realtor.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Coming back to your statement about being a realtor is a lifestyle. So what do you mean by that? Like, what kind of lifestyle?
Oh, well, it's I think anyone who's self-employed in this area would really, you have to, you're not just doing sales, you're also doing marketing, branding yourself. You're also networking, because that's how you and I met. And we both love to network and chat and help each other, right? So it's and it's the bookkeeping, it's all the stuff behind the scenes, and it's advertising, marketing, and being a realtor. I never realized actually how much there is more to it than just showing a home. Exactly. You are actually, and it's so funny because being a single parent for that many years, you wear, even as a mother, I'm sure you wear many, many, many hats.
Yes.
But especially when you're a single parent, you're carrying the job of mother and father. I wore many, many, many hats for many years. And I can remember even before I was a realtor, people would say, you have got to be one of the most resourceful, creative people I have ever met. And I'm like, I do. I actually come up with solutions most of the times that other people wouldn't think of. And I know I do.
Isn't that a great feedback?
It is.
Right?
It's really good. And knowing that, you will do things other people may not do, to not out of the box, not illegal, don't get me wrong, but you will do things that other realtors wouldn't think of maybe, or wouldn't do, to get that job done and to the benefit of your client. I would never do anything detrimental to anybody or without getting their permission, to make sure, I'm really good at staging. I'm really creative, like I said. And as a realtor who wears many hats, sometimes you feel, some days, like there was a day in the last week or two, all day I felt I was more like a lawyer. You're sometimes putting out fires to make sure. And some of your clients, because you don't want to get them too stressed out. We do know that, job moves, job transfers, deaths, and buying a new home, they are some of the most stressful things that you may go through in your life. So having a realtor that you can trust and that you can feel knows how to take care of business, knows how to deal with the other people. You might deal with a judge. I've dealt with a judge one time. You might deal with the police. You might deal with lawyers, cleaners, movers, packers. Sometimes you are the cleaner, mover, packer, right?
Wow.
It's all of the above. So and I have been told by other realtors that I really admire, actually, that have said, oh my gosh, Angela, you really are the realtor that does it all. And I'm like, yeah, I think I was built for this. I think, and everything I've went through in my life, hard or easy, has made me be very creative and very resourceful. And I know how to make things happen and how to get them done.
Wow.
And if I don't, my ego is not that big, that I will reach out to the person or the party that I need to get the correct answer for you. So I think all in all, it hopefully, it makes a pretty good transaction and not as stressful for the buyer or the seller.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like your job has a lot of different versions and sides.
Oh,
so
yes.
It's not just, as you said, selling houses. It's like 360 degrees almost. And the whole package around, right?
Some of the funny videos you may seen or things comparing your life to a realtor, it really does sometimes feel on some deals that it's like a roller coaster ride. So if you're feeling it, how much are your clients feeling it?
Right.
So I've told clients just actually last week, I said, don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for.
Good.
So you don't even want to let them know. Sometimes you're so close to getting something to the finish line or something that, and it doesn't just quite get there. And that's sad. And it does happen, because we know homes have to get remarketed because something happened to the people that were, had an accept an offer for whatever reason, were not able to get into that home. So things change on a dime. So you have to be level-headed, calm, cool, keep your collective, because you do not want your buyers or your sellers to get stressed out. You want to try and keep them, and you want them to have faith in you that, what, if we've got a bleep or a blunder, we're going to figure it out. We're going to do everything in our power. And I've worked with some good brokers before, and they're the same way I am. I'll work with those lenders they will dig under every rock. we can to make this work for you. We'll absolutely give it 110% and do whatever we can do legally for you to make this work. And you know, there's, you know what people say, there's a solution to every problem usually.
Yes, absolutely.
And you know yourself. Yes. And we'll go into that some other time in a podcast because I'm just, you know, that I'm in love and I'm amazed with you and your husband, David. And you're incredible people and you're incredibly smart and resourceful.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's really a pleasure to know you both.
Thank you, Angela.
Yeah.
So it sounds like your job is like, how would you rate your job in the ratio compared to social skills and sales skills? Like for some people, realtor agent would be 100% sales. The better you sell, the better you are.
Right.
But listening to you, it sounds like it's almost more important to have the social skills.
And it is.
And to read the client, right?
Yes. You know what? It is exactly what you said. It's to know you, to like you, and to trust you.
Good point.
And to trust you.
Okay.
Right? If they're meeting you and they didn't know you before and they've only met you once, maybe twice, whatever, and they're all on board, they're calling you every day, they're sending you pictures of homes, they want to deal with you. That means that I must have instilled that level of trust in them.
So how can you gain their level? How can you gain their trust?
In giving that feeling to them that you're in good hands. Don't worry about it. We'll get you through. We'll figure this out. And we'll speak to this person. We'll set this appointment up for this. And just in having that constant contact with them every step of the way. You know, it's no talking them into it. It's no, I'm just real. I'm myself. I'm informative.
Authentic.
I'm kind.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I am actually the face of my business. You know, when you deal with me, you get me every time.
Okay.
Like it or not, you get me.
Good.
Right? I've been in the hospital a few times for appointments or visiting someone and you're still working away. You know, they always say that a realtor will go to their deathbed and be working. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So it sounds like this is your real passion, to work with people and to help them grow, help them find their dream home where they feel safe.
It's actually, I've noticed already in 3 years that it's your biggest compliment is those, and it is a lot of immigrants usually, and there's, because I've had a lot of them that I've helped to get into homes as new buyers here in Canada, but it's actually them sending referrals. Like, they keep the cards there, they're constantly talking about you. You serve them well, and they're going to support you, and they do. And last Saturday, I was invited to one of my Syrian clients, his home for the barbecue, for summer barbecue.
Oh, nice.
And you know, sometimes you work with someone for 6 months, 9 months, even a year sometimes, and then afterwards you feel like you've lost a friend.
Aww.
And that's what he messaged me a couple months ago. I haven't seen you, Angela. I haven't heard from you. And I'm like, I'm working.
So basically, with each client, you gain a new friend. Almost. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So that's actually a very good point, because would you say, or how important is the network and the relationship for you? Like, would you say you needed a big network to bring you there where you are right now, or did you build everything by yourself, or what role did the network play when you built this in Fredericton?
Networking is huge in Fredericton. Very huge, yes. You get into the business, and it's going to happen to anyone who gets into the business. And you get into it and you think, oh, my family and my friends, and, you know, and try not to take it personal, but sometimes your family or friends, they're the
last one who
buy
off of you,
right? And they don't want you to know their business.
Yeah.
They probably don't even want you to get into their medicine cabinet or their clothes closet, and it, you know, your feelings really get hurt. And it's funny that some of those people that you are acquaintances with, or maybe you've just met networking or, you know, whatnot, they will trust you more and have complete confidence and just, yes, I want to work with you.
That's funny. That's really funny, because you know what?
Right?
I've just learned that recently, that in the family, you just play a very different role, because they expect you to be the daughter or the wife-in-law or whatever, or the sister. Yeah. And they don't care about your business at all. And I just came home this year and they've asked me, oh, by the way, are you still working in the immigration business? And I'm like, no, actually, I've stopped doing that 8 years ago. Thank
my
you
God.
for your interest, by the way.
Right?
Yeah.
Where some of the people
But-
you talk to, once a week or even once a month will be like,
Yeah.
hey, what are you up to? What's
Right,
new?
right.
Yeah, right.
And then I
Yes.
figured, should I be upset now or not? And then I've learned that actually they don't care. They just care about your well-being. Are you happy in
Yes.
your job? That's all they want to know.
Right.
And the rest, they don't care. So
Right. Yeah.
that would be actually a good recommendation for new business startups right there, right? To
Yeah.
not count on the family.
Yeah.
Not count on the
Right.
closest
And
friends.
you'll definitely feel it. And someone can list their home and have 2 different realtors, and they don't even have to be from the same company.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you think, well, I've got, Susie Q, which is my best friend from high school, or I've got, Aunt Mary down there who's been doing it for 20 years. Like, how am I going to decide? And you know what? When you go with those 2 people, you're going to have the power of 2. It's going to serve you, and it's not going to cost you anymore.
And that's not
right?
only the power of 2, it's 6 times as powerful.
Exactly,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I'm like, I won't say why, because I do, but I mean, I'm all about, I feel like sometimes I'm like Oprah, because I'm all about fairness. And I already went through this morning. I'll tell you off camera, but I'm all about the fairness. If there's anything I can do that's not going to cost me a fortune and I can afford to do for you, I will do it. And if I can share, I've already, we've had new realtors come in, and I was like, I'm busy enough right now, but they're just starting out. Let's give them a deal. Let's I'll send them on the call.
Yeah.
Like,
Perfect.
you know what? Karma can be a wonderful thing too, as well as almost someone putting it in a dark light to let karma get you. You know what? Karma is a beautiful thing as well.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a wonderful
thing.
thing.
If your heart is on the right place.
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly. And that's what people love about you, because your energy is so contagious and infectious. And when you said, come be on my new podcast, I'm like, well, most certainly.
I appreciate that.
I mean, who would turn you down? Yes,
you're sweet.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, Angela. So tell me about one or some of your biggest challenges during your real estate career. The thing nobody warned you about.
Right. Yeah. The things that might make really young newcomers in the industry shake a little and shiver a little bit. But everything I've seen in my times, it wasn't that bad, but it was a curveball. It was in the wintertime. It was my first year in business, and this gentleman had reached out to me several times. Finally got the opportunity to go to his home in Fredericton here. And then I kind of figured out what was going on a little bit, right? We all know in today's world there's a lot of addictions and mental illness, and so in saying that, when I got to meet him finally, I realized what was going on, and there was an addiction issue. The home didn't show too well, but it was very sparse at that point, and a single dad, but the children at that point were moved out. But I knew that there was issues, and this needed to be done quick. So we wrote the offer.
Was he forced to sell his home?
No, but it could have been. It could have came soon enough.
Okay.
And a lot of people are smart enough. Good question, by the way. But a lot of people are smart enough to realize I want to get this done before the bank's involved.
Okay.
Which is really wise to do, right? Yes. So, and I'm very patient. I've been told that. I'm not judgmental. I don't come from that kind of family. Very, I could have been a counselor, I'm sure, because it's coming in handy. But anyway, he liked me, and he knew that he had confidence in me. But I didn't realize that soon after that he was going to be going for treatment. Okay. So meanwhile, I've never heard of anyone going through this exactly. I've never seen it, hadn't been through it yet, but I knew that I could do it. So it's a big 4 or 5 bedroom house, 2-3 bathrooms. I went and I cleaned, I packed,
wow,
I purged, I hired movers, I sold some stuff with his permission, of course, the seller's permission. And the most intricate thing that, it's probably more of a female thing. I knew that in having 3 children and raised them for quite some time, that there was memorabilia there and keepsakes that he would want. Mm-hmm. So in my SUV, I packed it up with, his belongings and the children's, like artwork or, medals from sports and pictures and things like that. And I kept them for his keepsakes to make sure that, when this is done and he's on the right track again, he's going to want those. What parent doesn't, right? He's really, they're going to mean something to him. So, and I'm thankful for the other realtor in my office that brought the buyer, that even at her young age, she was very professional. She was very patient on a few things that we had to take care of. But it got done, and he thanked me after.
Wow.
Haven't heard much from him since. I hope he's in good hands and okay and doing well. And I'm honest too, and I think you know that, honest to a fault sometimes. And he said, "Oh, Angela, I can't thank you enough. Like, I don't know who else would have done this." And I said, "You're very welcome, but please take care of yourself." And his children want to see him here, I'm sure, and don't want to see something happen to their father. So
wow, that's very touching.
Yeah, it was difficult. Yeah.
So when you tell me this type of example, when I ask you about the challenge, what's your challenge in there? Is it that you feel the urge that you have to help the client?
How do you know that? Because I feel like I am a bit of an empath, and I overfeel other people's emotions. So if someone's upset or going through a hard time, it really, I almost feel like I just want to help. Yeah.
Wow.
And I seem to be, I don't know why you're testing me, God, but I seem to be, I'm very spiritual, by the way, but I seem to be attracting those clients that need the help. So that would be, maybe people going through addictions, or hoarding, or mental illness, or, just hard times in general. And they are more difficult. You have to have the right touch. You have to have more patience, definitely more work involved. And definitely when I'm dealing with a lot of the immigrants, there's a little bit of a language barrier. And I never, ever, it hurts my heart that when I have to ask someone repeatedly a question because I don't understand what they're saying back to me, and I don't want to insult them, but I need that information, right?
Okay, I hear
so
you.
that probably the same thing if you had an adult and you were trying to teach with an autistic child. Not saying anyone was autistic, but there was a language barrier. So you're dealing with the money barrier. They're not knowing about mortgages, and then you're dealing with just general language. Like, hopefully, and a lot of times I find that if it's a couple, and it usually is, one of them has better English than the other one.
Well, nowadays in the age of AI, you can just quickly pull out your translator app. Or
none of them have done that, though, funny enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I really don't like to insult anyone that way. So I try my best. And I know one time we had clients who, you've got to be careful because, not having transparency or making anything like be legal sort of thing, it can hold. What if they went back and they say, well, I wasn't told this, or I didn't understand this, or,
Yeah.
So
right.
Thankfully, one of the brokers that I work with on a lot of these files with immigrants, he said, I'm just going to send them an email. And usually it was Arabic or some, he was translating it to them. And then we could always fall back on that if anything was misconstrued or misunderstood or whatnot, and say, well, here's, we sent it out in their language. But yeah, you need a lot of patience.
Wow.
Yeah.
So during all of those, I don't say challenges, but during all of those busy during all of those clients' experiences and all of this busyness at work, what keeps you motivated for your soul, for yourself? What keeps you going all the time?
It is a good feeling on closing day. And lately I find that if I have a rough day, I am now reminiscing on all of the families that I've helped out. But you want to make sure, if you're selling your house, that it's not overpriced. Because and this is a joke, I compare it to dating. Because your first impression matters the most.
Yes.
You're not going to get them back in the door if the smell turned them off, or, whatever, right? Right? It's so true, though. That first impression. So make sure you have your lipstick on right, girls. So that's too funny. So you want to make sure that curb appeal is there. Everything is trimmed back. Yeah. Everything's neat and tidy, decluttered. Take down and make sure there's not too many personal pictures. You want your people to envision, if you're a seller, them living in your home, right? So it's you're going to move anyway, so why not declutter a little bit? Work with a good realtor that you trust and has your best interest at heart, and it's not just in and out and easy for them. That not that most of our deals aren't easy, but occasionally we get a break, and there might be an easy one in there occasionally. But don't overprice, because you can't backtrack. You can do a price reduction, but all those people that you potentially lost that might have offered, they don't think that maybe you would have went down 20,000. They don't think of that, and some realtors might not either, because some of them are just running, probably like working 16, 18 hours a day for 6 months, and they haven't really got that time. So you want to be careful, make sure you have lots of comparables, and I don't want to see anyone lose money, because I've seen that too. I've seen, realtors going to maybe you could have gotten an extra 10, 20, 30,000 as well, right?
Yeah, it's always a bit hard to know too, right?
Yeah, it is. But there's a few things that have come around that have helped that. And I actually, it's called the seller's direction. So the realtor will list a property, and they might actually go a little bit on the lower end and hoping to get multiple offers.
Okay.
So I tell my clients this, even if they're, from different countries, I'm like, yes, it says this price, but this house, look at it.
For someone who is listening to this and who is just starting out to maybe get self-employed or even start their own realtor business, what do you think is important for them to know? What would your piece of advice be?
That is such a good question. You need to be self-driven. You need to be self-driven in this. You need to look at everything and everyone. And I don't mean using people. Be authentic. Like, I don't want people to hire me anyway that don't respect me. I don't want to have a bad experience with you either. I want you to think of me as, this is a girl for me. She's going to get and she has my best interest at heart. I want someone who thinks that of me already. And I don't want you to use me for any other reason than to think that I'm going to be, a good to you in finding your home or selling your home. This has to be your number one priority. It really, so if someone is just, it's if you look at it as a part-time job or a full-time job, it depends on what you have for connections. Fredericton's like that too. Right. How well are you known? Do you come from an affluent family? Apparently, I don't come from an affluent family. Most people know that. Came from a single mother, so I knew what it was like to grind and hustle and make ends meet and work hard and be modest and you can do it part-time. That's not a bad thing. You can still work your current job and start it, because with the referrals, that is probably your biggest base of business that will have already started having referrals.
Okay.
Or even not maybe a referral from that particular client that I sold or bought with, but they sent me a referral. They sent one my way, right? So if everyone sends you a referral, or if those people start selling again in 2 to 5 years and they come back to you, it's just going to roll. Just keep on giving the best service you can. Keep on networking. Create a database. I do this. I'm proud of this. I've got 566 in my database, my CRM, after 3 years. There's people who have been doing it for 18 years that don't have that.
Wow.
And I do it myself. Okay. It's not an assistant. It's not AI. It's not AI. It's me. I stay and I put the time in. So it's those little things. Now, you have to work as hard for yourself as you would for someone else. Like, you have to work it like it's a full-time job.
If not more.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I know that I work minimum on average 60 hours a week. Every year I doubled so far in income. Every year.
Amazing. Wow.
You have to have more faith that it's going to work. As long as you've laid down the groundwork and you're putting out the feelers, like I put out posters, and now I've started visiting people with little treat bags, little sweet bags, and I love that.
Aww.
I love, as you know probably, as much as I love being in a group of people, I more so really like a one-on-one conversation, or even 1 and 3, like 3 people.
Yes,
I like a small, intimate, important conversation where I can feel the feels.
And you feel
and
the
heart.
energy.
And
yes,
the energy.
And the personality right away in a couple seconds. Yeah.
That's what I love the most.
Yeah.
So I think probably once I get, sometimes with the immigrant clients specifically, I think I'm hopefully that Tammy said as well, that they're feeling that vibe for me, that I really do care.
Yes.
And I'm genuine, and I'm going to do everything I can in my power for you to make this work.
Wow.
To get it done.
Yes, beautiful words.
Yeah.
So your advice basically is being self-driven and just having the right network, or building the right network if you don't have it yet, and
still be authentic in yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want to remember any lies that I told before, or anything that I said or did that was, misrepresenting, or I want to be my true authentic self, that's what I would say to anybody at any time. And that's what I'm going to do is I
think being authentic helps or comes naturally when you do what you love. Do you agree?
Yes, fully. 100%. Yeah.
Well, Angela, thanks for being here and talking, giving me some insights to your business and how you built it. So thank you, Angela, to the passionate and yet very sensitive realtor out in Fredericton. If you need someone.
EXIT Realty.
Yes.
EXIT Realty Advantage, Agent 99.
All of my guests built something real through something hard. And that story, it belongs to you now. Take it, use it, grow through it. If this conversation moved you, share it with one person who needs it today. And subscribe, because the next story is already waiting for you. This is Growth Through Challenge. I'm Martina Bernhofer, and I will see you in the next one.